traffic. Maybe it's the traffic itself. Outer traffic. Done. Network traffic. Okay. So, this is control. I have to do this again. Apparently, the Ultimate Edition is not same as the regular PlayStation Plus edition. And once you buy the official control game, of the Ultimate Edition or the Gold Edition, it's going to get rid of all of your other control stuff that you had within the cloud. I don't know how, but it does. So unless I manually decide to get rid of everything within the cloud, which I didn't, the Ultimate Edition does not consider your PlayStation Plus control subscription one the same. So you have to start the game all over from the beginning. Yep. And for Spooktober, I was going to play the Mortuary Assistance, but hey, apparently PlayStation Plus decided to fuck me over and consider the Ultimate Edition control to be a completely new experience than their base game control. How does that work? I do not know. If someone says, well, you did something, there's nothing to do. Once everything goes into the cloud, it stays into the cloud. You're playing the subscription of control. So apparently the Ultimate Edition is not the subscription of the base game. It's the full purchase game. It's not the subscribe PlayStation Plus game. So that's what that is. If anyone says otherwise, then you explain to me where the hell my saves are from the cloud. So that's the reason why I'm playing this for Spooktober. A game I've beaten before, but I now gotta do again. Because they're not the same. They're not the same apparently. They're the same freaking game, but apparently, according to PlayStation Plus, they're not the same. So now I'm fucked over and I gotta play this game all over again. Yep, I New Game Plus this game, but apparently it does not matter. Well, screw me then. Fuck me, right? This is somewhat semi-horror induced psychological horror in scientific fantasy terms. This is like Mulder and Scully type horror, investigation with psychological influence of psychological horror and science or paranoia. Paranormal horror. I would call this paranormal horror, but leans more on the action side of horror than on the horror side of horror. It's like playing Resident Evil 2 versus Resident Evil 1. That's what Control is. It leans more on the action side, so it's hard to say that this is actually horror, even though it has horror elements. But I'm doing it because I have no choice but to do it. Because I had no idea. Getting $4 more with regards to an Ultimate Edition, buying off the official game, means it'll get rid of my cloud. Because that's what I did. I rolled over, I see Control Ultimate Edition's only $4 more. And I said, oh, that's a deal. Had no idea buying the official game for $4 more would screw over my original Control game. So I have no choice but to do this. I really wanted to play the Mortuary Assistance for Spooktober, but apparently I am not allowed to do so. So for anyone who's ever going to watch this, just remember this. If you buy the Ultimate Edition of Control, you will be fucked over. That's all there is to say about that. Your control that you save within the cloud is going to be wiped. Because I played this game, I beat this game on the Game Plus this game twice. And apparently if you go buy the official game of the Ultimate Edition, it's not going to consider it the same as the PlayStation Plus control game. You got to start all over again. So just be mindful of that. If you want to purchase the official game, do that. But if you're going to purchase the PlayStation Plus and download their version of Control, and one day you decide to buy the Gold Edition, Platinum Edition, or Ultimate Edition, it's going to start you over from the beginning again. So I have no choice but to play this for my horror, leading up to my horror.
This is gonna be weirder.
It was going to be the Mortuary Assistant, but
can't be helped.
I have no idea how PlayStation Plus runs its business,
You
and I
called me.
don't like it.
So here I am. I
But this
know I'll
is
shut you out
but this is
sometimes.
semi-horror. This is semi-horror. Some
I'm
horror elements are
always
in
glad you're
control,
here for
so
me, but
I'm kind of good.
it's just that
Kinda.
I get my hopes up. So many times it's led to nothing. I found nothing. It's like we live in a room, and there's a poster on the wall. We stare at it and we think that's the whole world. The room and the poster. The picture's something nice. A landscape, a famous person. Like in that movie, what is it called? The prison movie. The room's a cell, and the picture, it's different for each of us. It can be beautiful or terrible, but we're all transfixed. But it's all a lie. Something to distract us from the truth. They're lying to us. We're lying to ourselves. The room's not the world. The world is much bigger and much stranger. There's a hole hidden behind that poster that leads to the real world. We all feel safe in that room. But sometimes something crawls out from behind the poster. And the ones that see it happen freak out and try to forget what they saw. I'm here. Why did you bring me here? Hello? Anyone here?
Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. New Game Plus this twice. And Cloud said, nope. Nope, this is not the official game. This is a subscription game you're playing. So you've now bought the official one, so fuck you. You have to start all over again. Unbelievable. I don't mind. Jesse Faden's kind of a superhero. And this does have kind of sort of horror elements, so Mortuary Assistant will have to wait till next year. Because it will be Evil Within 2 in this for Spooktober. I've capped on the games I purchased for this year. I haven't gone over $200, but I've played more than 4 games I bought. So, as a rule, 4 to 5 games most. I stick to my code, I'm going to keep doing so. Oh, okay. So in Ultimate Edition, I think they clean up the whole brightness factor. Unless I putting it at 90 cleaned it up. Let's put it back down to 50 or 70. And let's see. No, it was me. Nothing was cleaned up. It was just me. I'm not here to judge this game. I already rated it. Just playing this because I have no choice but to play it again. Because I've been fucked over by PlayStation. But I don't mind. Controller's badass anyway. I've now realized that Controller's in my top 20 games. I had it like in one of my top 50. But after close consideration, which I'm going to probably have to change up my whole the greatest games of all times within my tier on my YouTube channel, I'm going to have to move this up to my top 20. Because this is a game I could see myself coming back to multiple times over and over and over again. And a game where you come back multiple times over and over again has to be either in your top 20 or top 30. It might not hit my, now I think about it, it might not hit my top 20, but it'll definitely be in my top 30. My top 10 are games I just play on the regular. Like Warframe, I'll have to move Warframe up into my top 20 because I play that on the regular all the time. Yeah, I'll definitely have to change up certain things with regards to games in my top 20 because Warframe definitely is high up there now. Okay, I'll see if I can move as fast as I can and remember everything. But if this is your first time seeing Control, I'm just going to give you a rundown. If this is your first time hearing about the game Control and seeing Control, if I'm the first video you've ever seen someone playing Control, I'll just explain certain things that's important to explain. Other things I'll just leave to the ether while I'm playing. Like if you don't want to know who this guy is, the game will explain everything that you see here. So the obvious things I'm not going to explain. Things that might seem confusing, I'm going to explain those. For instance, when you get your powers, you're able to destroy these things, but for right now, you cannot do anything other than open them. You'll wonder why you're able to destroy it at one point and at other point you can't, because you cannot do anything until you've acquired powers in order to do so. And there's a
Federal
difference.
Bureau of Control.
And there's a difference
All these
between
years I've been looking for them,
being
and they
in
were
one world
hiding
and the
in plain
next.
sight.
In the regular world, or should I say in the control world of this building, there are checkpoints which allow you to not destroy things or move things. Those are called safe zones. So you can't do anything. You could do stuff like this, jump and walk through stuff, but you can't destroy. And unsafe zones are zones where are more like combat zones or where things would eventually pop up. So your power is now accessible. And you will see so when you start destroying tables and stuff. So yes, if anyone ever asks, Control is kind of a horror game. It's more like paranormal horror, like Mulder and Scully X-Files horror. It's not technically full horror. It is 25 to 35% horror, and the rest is action and exploration. So it's kind of like Resident Evil 2 to Resident Evil 1, where Resident Evil 2 was more action and Resident Evil 1 was more horror. Or Aliens to Alien. Aliens was action, Aliens 1 was horror. So I'll keep it quiet right now and follow the story.
Hello? Hey, excuse me.
There you are. You are here about the job. Janitor's assistant. You need to go to the interview. Go that way to the elevator.
Thanks. Elevator that way. Got it.
Very good. I'm Ahti, the janitor, by the way. You'll work for me. You can say I sent you. If they don't hire you, then you are no helvet. There be work for the axe. Take them behind the sauna, jumalauta.
I've done enough night shift loner jobs to know it makes us come off weird. Ahti the janitor is a friendly face in my book.
Better than somebody with no face at all. Think about it. No face.
But that said, I know what you're thinking. If there's an axe murderer around, that's him.
Oh, one final thing. The reason why I also am willing to play this game and not play something like Mortuary Assistant or Pathological 3 or Mouthwashing, like I already know somewhat about what those games are all about. Not into cult stuff like Pathological 3. Mortuary Assistance is the only thing that appeals to me, and mouthwashing is more like shit from reality. Stuck on a plane and stuff. Like, I don't need to be reminded of reality and the shithead human beings of reality. So people might find that game to be interested, but if you experience shit like that, like I've experienced real situations like that in real life, like I don't want to be reminded of that. It's not really hard to me. It's more like dealing with an asshole if you have to take care of, which me and the military people had to take care of some fool like that before when I was in the military. I need to be reminded of pricks.
The cell and the poster. I was 11 years old the first time I saw behind the poster. They told me I imagined it. I've been trying to pull it down ever since. Will you
If
help?
if this game goes down because my internet is shitty, I'm running on Wi-Fi, so be it. I'll continue this on PlayStation recording, on regular PlayStation recording, and on live if it stays up on live. The standard thing I do all the time. So if this goes down, so be it. I'll do the same thing with this I did with Doom. And for November and December, there's only one game I'm going to play for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and that's Final Fantasy VI. Something lighthearted, something beautiful. Because I know how to separate things, how to put action in action, horror in horror, fantasy in fantasy, so on and so forth, without being indulged in one type. So yes, Control is kind of semi-horror. You will not
Did
be
I lose you there
disappointed
for a
playing this
moment?
game.
You know what's on my mind. My baby brother, Dylan. 17 years since the men of this bureau took him.
You will not be disappointed playing this game. It's action, it's exploration, it's psychological horror slash science fiction horror slash horror as well. It has everything from every type of genre that exists except first person shooter games. So you won't find something like multiple types of demons, and also you won't find like serious scare factor with regards to stuff like visage or stuff like that. So its horror elements is 25 to 35%, but it's good enough to be classified as spooky. So I'm not completely disappointed that I'm playing this again. I'm just upset at the PlayStation Plus. Okay, so these are obvious things. I don't need to explain any of this to anyone. They're obvious. Now, what's not obvious is what you won't find in regular games, um, such as research and records, case files, how they decide to organize things in comparison to other games. When you file files in other games, those things fall into researches. When you file case files, those things fall into investigation. Not standard in regular games, only standard in like investigation type games. That's why I say this game is like a bit of everything. And correspondence, which is not common in any games, it's basically bureaucracy. So this is with regards to paperwork. So she's part of a bureau. Like it's like you're part of the FBI or something. So this is kind of bureaucracy type of game as well. You're following a code of ethics and rules and regulations. So it has a bit of everything latched into one game. And then multimedia is when you collect documents with regards to seeing videos. So it's a bit different from other games, but not completely something you would get lost in. Research and documents is only stuff with regards to what you find. Case files is only with regards to things with regards to the past. Correspondence is things also with regards to the past, but are helpful for you to understand the world around you. And of course, multimedia is things that you've completed in the past, things that will help you to understand the world more. So that's basically that.
Shit. Shit. You want me to pick it up? The murder weapon? Really? Something's outside. Was coming here a mistake?
So I keep thinking to myself, if I was to have a girlfriend, I think it would probably be Jessie. Out of all the protagonists in any game, of any type of game, of all the female protagonists in any type of game you've ever thought in your entire life of playing, or ever seeing, whether it's Half-Life or Alien Isolation or Beyond Good and Evil or whatever, Resident Evil, Jill, and all stuff. If anyone, I think it would probably be Jessie. I keep thinking there's something like morally stable about her, adventurous about her, normal about her. She wears the same type of clothing that I would probably rock, you know. The only thing that's I would say off about my interest with regards to her is her culture she comes from, Caucasian. I have nothing against Caucasian people, but maybe it might not be a Caucasian person. But then I thought to myself, well, if I don't care about that, then it wouldn't matter if it was her or not. It's just that there's something just balanced about this character. If you put her in a military outfit, she would work in that vicinity. If you put her as a nurse, she would work in that vicinity. If you put her as a badass superhero, she would work in that vicinity. But for most people who want more action and or power regards to their protagonist, they wouldn't appeal to her. They would want someone who's far more. But with regards to this character, it seems like there's something hidden inside of her that's more appealing than what I find interest in other characters like Samus or something. She seems more down to earth to me than anything. Someone that I could really, if she was a real person, I would date or something. Like her choices and what she would view as right and wrong.
Poster.
Objects of power can cause or be results of AWE's altered world events, intrusions upon the perceived reality. Now, the service weapon is, of course, a prime example of an OOP, a very powerful one. Ingrained in the Bureau's DNA, a key component in our prime candidate program. Come out of that Russian roulette a winner and you're it.
Look at this place. Where am I?
See, it's like she's the type of character, there's a certain level of risk she's willing to take to find her brother and to do certain things. But there's a certain level that she won't be willing to cross, and she will only cross it if said is needed. And she doesn't dress like she's weird or anything either. She's like her style is like around my wheelhouse as well.
the same, though. Okay, now I have a gun.
Something's coming. This threat. An attack. Duty as director. Keep the Bureau safe.
Did you hear that? It's the dead man. Right after the pyramid spoke to me, and it was just noise, and I understood every word. And this gun's alive. You know what? I'm happy. Happy to be here.
Actually, now that I think
Things have
about
quieted
it,
down outside. Is it safe to go?
actually, now that I think about it, I think I was rocking this exact outfit as a dude. Not tight pants though, and not black shoes. It was more like blackish brown, a black leather jacket, and a black shirt. Yeah, her style is around my wheelhouse.
You can't let this happen. 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 You stopped it. You... Oh, thank you. That was... horror.
See, this is what I was saying. It's like the moment an area becomes unstable due to hiss, your character, or should I say, the moment you have acquired powers, certain areas that were unauthorized to you for you to use said powers are now hot zones. So now you can use your powers on said area. But once you initiate a safe zone, your powers will be locked off because it's a safe zone area. So you can't destroy stuff now.
The hotline. Secure line of communication. Guidance. Reach the hotline.
The hotline, says the dead man. Okay.
Reminder.
And yes, you can die quickly in this game if you're not paying attention. So when people say this game is easy, it's only easy when you start to get a lot of power and a lot of health. If you lack power or lack health, you will die many times. But if you're careful and you're cautious, like you bob and weave or stay behind windows and stuff, you'll survive quite easily.
Secure line of communication. Guidance. Reach the hotline.
Like if I play safe now, I'll obviously survive.
Dead man. Okay.
Rather than running in guns blazing. So I read this before in the past, so I don't need to read this. Everything's been redacted. Um, just for explanation of what this game is. Basically, everything you're using is a utility, like a hook or something, a grappling hook. But since this is like Jean Grey, Professor Xavier stuff going on at the same time, they're not just utilities, they're paranormal utilities or telekinetic utilities. Basically, influence of psychic powers or telekinesis on weapons. So they're called para-utilitarian weapons because it's a utilitarian weapon. It's not just there to use as a utilitarian object. It's which means paranormal. So that's basically what it is: para-utilitarian or utility with paranormal attachments to it. Quite easy to understand. Paranormal has to do with ghosts and stuff, unexplained things, goes to astral planes, influence on objects. So here, this is the beautiful part about this game. If you don't want to listen to something when you're in the action scenes, you could just pick it up and then come back to it, and then listen to it as it plays.
If you experience an unanticipated building shift, follow these simple steps. 1. Search the room for any altered items or objects of power. 2. Carry the altered item or object of power to the nearest safe room. 3. Wait for Bureau staff to find you and the object. If there are no altered items or objects of power in the vicinity, then reach your supervisor via the nearest intercom and await further instructions. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, so I remember someone playing this game before in the past, and they said there's no duck mechanics. You can duck, but I believe you have to understand how everything works in the game. So duck is R3. If you're wondering, well, how can you dodge and duck behind things? It's R3. It's just R3 on the controller. So you should go into a stand state. And then she'll go back. Once she's finished reloading, she'll go back to the stand state. So you have to, she don't go back to the duck state. She stands up, you cap off, you do what you do, and she's back in the stand states. You're in the duck state when you're taking duck for cover, and then you aim. Then you have to go back to the duck state again. So you have to do it, look over, aim, look over, aim. Same as with walls. You can't stand against a wall like Metal Gear Solid and then turn around and shoot. This game only has the duck for cover state, which is about the only bad thing I would say with regards to the game. When she's standing by a wall, she should stand by the wall, look around, and cap off. Maybe they'll do that for Control 3, who knows. But this game does have a duck for cover mechanic, which is good because people are capping rounds at you. Run is the standard run button. Jump is the standard X button. Reload is the standard square button. Circle is the standard dodge button, but you haven't unlocked circle yet for dodge. Triangle is the standard melee button. In this game, triangle is melee. Circle is dodge. Reload is square. Jump is X. Duck for cover is R3. Aim down sights is L2, and R1 and R2 is shoot. Weapon wheel will be, I believe, R1, and I'm not sure if there's grenades in here, but if they're not grenades, there's shielding is L1 or something like that. And also opening objects, interacting with objects is also square. So reloading is square, and opening objects is also square. You can either let the weapon you use reload by itself, or in fact, actually no. The reload is automatic. What am I talking about? Reload is automatic. If you use up some of the weapons reload, it automatically reloads itself. If you use all of it, let go of controller, it reloads itself. Yeah, so reload is automatic. There's no reload in the game. Another sweet thing about this game that I love, you don't need to reload. The game says, I'm going to reload for you. Why? Why is there no reload? Because these are para-utilitarian weapons. The paranatural, the ghost weapon, if you want to call it, or the Charles Xavier psychic weapon. The hand of the ghost is reloading the weapon, if that's a simpler way to describe it, or the supernatural force of whatever, of aliens or ghosts or whatever, are reloading the weapon for you, or just the energy itself, the energy of the supernatural world reloads the weapon for you. You don't need to do it. It's a supernatural weapon, basically, so it doesn't need you to reload it. Or any other weapons, none of them allows for you to reload because they're all supernatural weapons. Oh, these people, so like I said, I'll explain certain things that make sense, certain things that don't. They're floating around because they've all been infected. End of story. Infected people are ones that are floating around. Unlike some games, when you get infected, turn into raging zombies. In this game, when you get infected, you turn into one of these things, and eventually over time it eats away your mind, and eventually you become those walking guys shooting good cap brains at you. So eventually you either die from an infection, which levitates you, or the infection takes control of you and you come right back down and you're one of them, a red dude. So you either die or you fall to the ground and become one of them. There's a way to save them, but you have to clear the area in order to save them. Once you clear an area, like I said, I clear this entire area of infection, all these people go back to normal because the positivity or whatever the paranatural power that I have has shoot out like a pulse of energy with regards to this house. And the house has now saved this area, and anyone and anything within the area are now not under the influence of the hiss, which is the name of the enemy.
The hissing sound that tried to evade me earlier. The hiss. Burrowing into everything in this place. Is the hiss your enemy? Alright, it's our enemy.
Yeah, so everyone is infected.
Battle's
Infected
contagious.
means people
Burns
floating.
in like an infuriating melody that makes you hum it over and over.
So, like I said before, everything with FBC corresponds is basically bureaucracy, paperwork from soldiers or agents. So these are just people who work with the company here. Marshal eyes only. Marshal's director. Agents are out in the field. They're telling them, we went to this house to do this, so and so. So everything in here is correspondence from other agents within this building. The FBC is like the FBI, but it's a secret organization in relations to the government. The government knows about the FBC and allow them to investigate things that don't make sense. It's like Mulder and Scully, you know. Like if something happens with goes to some crackhead taking over and they're trying to infiltrate a city and take a bunch of hostages and say they're going to hijack this plane, FBI stuff. But if said crackhead have like a demon controlling one of them or something like that, or a ghost controlling one of them, which then influence other people psychologically, then the FBC will show up and say, I'm sorry, FBI guys, this is out of your jurisdiction. And they say, by whose authority? You know, by, well, the government, and because we believe an entity is here. How do you know? Well, we know. That's why we're here. Otherwise, if we didn't know, we wouldn't be here. And the FBI would say, you motherfuckers, blah, 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 and then they go on their own. It's the same way FBI do towards cops or marshals do to cops. Be like, they respect each other, but they hate each other at the same time. So the FBC would show up and the FBI would get pissed off. That's the way it is. Kind of like Alan Wake 2, when the FBI showed up and the FBC showed up to take control of the situation. The FBI people got angry and said, these guys, you know, they're like secret servicemen within an organization. They're like the CIA of the FBI or something, or a secret organization of the CIA, which is more secret than the CIA itself. It's weird to describe, but it's fun. They're not supposed to exist. The FBC doesn't exist as far as the government is concerned. Only the FBI knows about them, because CIA and FBI are supposed to know all things that are going on within the country. But they're not supposed to interact with these people whatsoever at all. You're authorized to know about us, but you're not supposed to bother us, basically.
Cleanse the control point. What does that mean? Help me fix it. Holy shit. You did it. We did it.
So, if this is your first time watching this video or anything Control, I'm gonna rush past a lot of things because I beat this game twice. But I'm gonna explain certain things, like this is the control point I was talking about. Once you initiate a control point, everything within the vicinity that was corrupted is now safe, which means everyone who's floating is now back to normal within this area. Or those who aren't, like this person right here, is simply based on the tutorial of the game or the explanation of the game. See, I'm now allowed to cap her. Like if I whip out my weapon, it's not going to do so because she's part of the example of the story. There's no one around floating around, as you can see, because they're not supposed to. She's part of an explanation to the story. That's why she's the only one here. Otherwise she would be normal.
I can't tell you how happy I am to talk to somebody sane.
The feeling's mutual. Yeah, I'm Pope, Emily Pope, Dr. Darling's assistant.
My turn. Should I lie? Jesse Faden. I'm just visiting. I should have lied.
Oh, shit. You're the new director. Hold on. We're coming out. Director Faden.
Call me Jesse.
Okay, Jesse. I'm Emily. Look, somehow this hostile force, this
Hiss?
that works. Somehow the hiss managed to infiltrate the building without any warning.
And just like that, my name for it is official. The hiss. Like the sound of poison gas leaking in.
We're in full lockdown. It seems to have spread everywhere and to everyone not protected by an HRA. And, extraordinarily, you. You are the director, and that makes you special by definition. Trench is no longer the director, obviously. I'm sorry, I'm talking too much. This whole situation is just a lot.
Trench is dead. Shot.
Ah.
I found his body. And the gun. Do I tell her it looked like a suicide?
The service weapon.
Also, and this can sound crazy, but he keeps appearing to me. Saying things. It's hard to make out, but he told me to cleanse the control point. Push the hiss out. The whole room shifted around.
You did that? And you entered the building when it was already in the lockdown before you became the new director? How?
I'm not ready to tell her about you yet. A janitor let me in.
I love it. This is fucking unbelievable. I can't even... Look, Jesse, I have a million questions, and you probably have a million more.
Like, do you know my brother Dylan? Not yet.
But there's something I need to ask you to do first. If you can cleanse a control point, then you can maybe cure those infected or possessed by the hiss. Because if that's possible, our options are very different.
Emily Pope. I don't know her, but I like her already. She's the opposite of the faceless agency I've blamed for what happened to me for so long. But I can't trust her yet. Or rather, the Bureau she's a part of. Yes. I can try. I'm speaking for you, of course. We can try it together.
There's one other...
You with me? We did it before. Push the hiss out.
So there's one more little slight little secret or something, or kind of like a little quirk within the game that a lot of people don't know about. Only some people do. Whenever she goes on this rant in her head as she's talking and people are looking at her, it's like they're wondering what she's thinking about before she answering. So that's like a nice little, I wouldn't say it's an Easter egg, but it's like a nice little quirk that the game has, a little quirky thing. Because just like how Emily was looking at her, waiting for an answer, wondering what she was thinking, or like maybe she was going crazy why she hasn't answered her yet, or something like that. It's a nice little funny moment. It's like the game is waiting for you to make a decision. Whether it's true or not, it's a nice little quirky thing that's added in there.
It didn't work. The hiss has burrowed too deep. Ripping it out rips them apart.
And that's not normal. So, like I said before, when a person is infected, they either become full hiss and in servitude to the hiss, or they're cleansed based on the area that's cleared. The only time they fade away into nothingness like that is when you're trying to force said hiss out, when it doesn't want to be forced out. It has to be something, there's a prerequisite of certain things that you have to do, a procedure that you have to follow in order to remove the hiss from the infected host. Try to force it out, doesn't work. It's like a tapeworm or something. It's attached to the body. You cannot simply force it out, otherwise you hurt the person's body. You kind of have to weed it out with medicine or antibiotics to infect it, like you would spray Raid to kill roaches. Like if you ever stomp on a roach and the roach is still moving, you realize you have to put more force in order to kill it. But if you ever spray like Raid or poison on the roach, you just simply have to wait till it kills itself without damaging the creature itself, killing it from the inside. So she has to follow a procedure. She was here. Wait, did she go upstairs? Yeah, she did.
I can't cleanse them.
I saw. It was worth a shot. Thank you, Director. Jesse.
I'm gonna tell her why I'm here. I'll risk it. Listen, the Bureau was involved in an incident in my hometown, Ordinary, 17 years ago. The Bureau came in and covered the whole thing up. I've been looking for this place for a long time. That's enough. Maybe that's too much already. I can't tell her about Dylan and the rest yet.
I've seen mentions of an Altered World event case dealing with Ordinary. You were at Ground Zero as a child? It was one of the big ones, and before my time. And very classified. I can try to dig out some old files for you. My boss, Casper Darling, would know, but he's missing. I think he knew this was coming, or suspected. He came up with the HRAs, the Hadron Resonance Amplifiers. I think they're what saved us. A few of us. And Director Trench would know.
Trench, the ghost, or whatever he is, he mentioned something called the Hotline. Said I should find it.
It's another object of power, like the gun, an old Bakelite telephone. A direct line of communication between the Director and the board. Maybe he can talk to you more clearly through that. I mean, Trench has years and years of experience. He might know how to destroy the hiss.
Where is the hotline?
It's kept in the communications department through the mailroom. It's part of this sector, so we can access it even with the lockdown in place. We'll get the door open for you.
Okay, that's my next stop.
That's Tomasi's department. He's head of communications. I don't think he had an HRA. He kind of made a point about not wearing one earlier. Keep an eye out.
They call me the director. But that's not me. I'm not a director type. I'm not a leader. Why am I here? I think you already know. Yes, I came for my brother, but there are other reasons too. I said I was looking for answers, but I might never understand them. I'm not looking for proof. This is already it. More than enough. No matter what they told me all those years, I know it's real now. I didn't imagine this. I want to be a part of this world. What scares me shitless is that I finally found it. Only to see the hiss destroy it all.
I know this is all new to you, so don't hesitate to ask me anything you want to know. There are no stupid questions. The door to the comms department is just outside the boardroom back in the lobby. They should have gotten it open by now. Follow the signs to the mailroom. You can get to the hotline containment chamber through there. Good luck, Jesse. See you back here once you have the hotline.
Okay, so it's at this point the lag starts to kick in. Um, all all I did is basically refresh my browser, and I continued on. So there's spikes within certain spikes within the network receiving traffic, both transmission and both receiving. So maybe I should turn down not brightness, remove film grain, and remove motion blur, and optimize for. I'll leave performance on, and I'll take off certain things that might also be putting uh, pressure on the game itself. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to remove certain graphics that might put pressure on the game itself. And since the depth regards to frames is going very low. I think that should be good. Should be perfect. Um, yeah, that's fine. I'll leave it here and have it save. Maybe the brightness is a bit too bright. Okay, that's fine.
Thanks,
Well,
Emily.
but now it's a bit too dark. So maybe 90 was fine. All right. So I understand that Wi-Fi sucks, but hey, until I one day get LAN stuff, Wi-Fi it is. So with regards to the weapon, let's see. What have I found? So each weapon has its own slot. You can equip stuff that you find within the world to slot in, and these are all things that you get out of crates in order to attach to the weapons. Same like modification with regards to your weapons. You mod a weapon. It says the weapon is right here, and it says weapons and weapons mod, and it's showing here that you have no weapon mods. So weapon form, this is the weapon form, it's called the grip, and this side right here, in these boxes, where you only have one box right now, I have 0 weapon mods, as stated right here, from new rarity type, so that's not important. Then you have personal mods, which regards to your person itself, your powers, not your weapon's powers, because there are 2 type of powers. There's the para-utilitarian powers, which is the influence of paranatural stuff onto your weapons, and then the influence of paranatural stuff onto your person, given to you by the foundation or the founders there. And so this is for you yourself. Personal stuff for you, personal stuff for your weapons. So let's see here. Do I want more health? 17% more health, or do I want more health recovery? I pick up more, 20% more health recovery, which means once the enemy dies, he drops the same amount of health, but I get 20% more heals in return from those minuscule drops. Or do I want more energy recovery speed, which is regards to me using my melee powers, not my weapons. Do I want to do that? Keep doing that. So I think at the moment where she is, I want her to recover health faster. So yeah, and how you could tell the scaling levels of health. Well, it would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on and so forth. So for right now, these are all ones, as in one is right next to them. So I haven't found any twos yet. So the higher the number goes right next to them, the higher the product will be with regards to you using it, or getting help from it, or being able to use powers with it. Simple, really. Alright, so we have our main objective here. Then you have an alternate objective, and in this case an alternate objective would be down here, but we haven't got to that yet. Only thing we've gotten to so far is missions and missions completed. Welcome to the old house. So I've completed the first part of the game, and it's grayed out, and when you go to the new part of the game, it's in yellow color. So like I said, I won't give points for things that I've done before in the past, but at least I give a short explanation to what those things are. So I'll keep moving on. And one last thing is the map is the up button on your PlayStation controller, not the pressing up regards to central D-pad, just the up on the side button. So pressing up, like in most games, press or heal, um, and being confused because you cannot zoom in to see, but at least you have this red indicator to tell you where you are. Now, in the original Control game, there was no red indicator to tell you where you are, which was completely stupid, and I took points off. But this is the Ultimate Edition, so they managed to include a red indicator to show where you're moving, where you're traveling. So a couple of years have passed. You would think that they would add a zoom in and zoom out option, but they haven't with regards to the map. But they didn't do that. They at least add a cursor symbol with regards to your character, an icon, a red little arrow to show where you are, moving back and forth from central. So, yeah, they at least add that, so that's good. It just sucks that I have to start this game all over again because the cloud did not keep my original, because it doesn't consider the Ultimate Edition the same as the base game. Also, that's weird. In the Ultimate Edition, rather than the base game, there was no debris on this. This is added. These cracks are added in here. So after I fought the enemy in here, there was leftover debris here. So damage to the surrounding area was, at least at that area, was still present. At least they're doing some. They did something to improve it just a little.
There it is again. A welcome message. it is again. A welcome message.
Just look at it. 8 inches wide and capable of storing a whopping 80 kilobytes. Stolen by our friends at the CIA, the disk held the launch codes to Soviet nukes. This is not the disk, of course, but one exactly like it. A perfect fusion of concepts vibrating in the Cold War era collective unconscious. A receptacle. It is a receptacle for dangerous energies to hone in on. And they did. We don't have the details, but when things started flying around the disk, it was transferred to us. It's an object of power. OOP. Oops. Oh, and it can launch things telekinetically through the air. To date, we've launched maybe 3 dozen pencils. And once, we even launched a cup. Inches wide and capable of storing a whopping 80 kilobytes.
This is a very famous guy. I was surprised when they got him to play in this game. I think I'm not sure exactly what film he did in the past, but he was very well known in old school movies. Let me look it up. Famous. I'm always curious.
And they did. We don't have the details, but when things started flying around the disk, it was transferred to us. It's an object of power. OOP. Oops. Oh, and it can launch things telekinetically through the air. To date, we've launched maybe 3 dozen pencils. And once, we even launched a cup.
Darling. His name is Darling. Dr. Casper Darling. Okay. Matthew Peretta. Let me see. There he is. Matthew Peretta. I knew it was from a movie. He's been around for quite some time. He was in Beverly Hills 90210 when that series existed. He was in Robin Hood Men in Tights when that came out. What else was he in? Yeah, he got started in Beverly Hills 90210, Robin Hood Men in Tights, CIS New York, and then he started in the Alan Wake Bright Falls game. That was his first introduction into video game voice acting, I believe. Yeah, but that's what I remember him from. I remember him from Robin Hood Men in Tights. That's what I remember. I don't remember him from Beverly Hills 90210, but I remember him from Robin Hood Men in Tights. So he's been around for quite some time. He has been in a lot of famous projects, not only the CIS television show and the Beverly Hills television show, but he's been in famous movies too. Robin Hood Men in Tights. What was the name of that? Unforgettable. And also South Beach. No, not South Beach. South Beach was a television show. Yeah. He got it Without a Trace. Oh yeah, Without a Trace. Okay, so yeah, this guy has been around for quite some time. I saw him somewhere, but I recognized him from Robin Hood Men in Tights. That's where I got it from.
Communications. We're on the right track.
A lot of famous actors from the day, in order for them to stay relevant in this day and age, they have to explore other constructs with regards to entertainment. In modern entertainment, you either go towards games, animations, or what was it? Games, anime, or something else. Superhero movies, that's it. In order to stay relevant in this day and age, you have to appeal to what's going on in this day and age. the main entertainment factor with regards to bringing a lot of money in is in the gaming industry, within the anime and animation industry, and which is voice actor work, and of course superhero genres. That's where a lot of bread and butter is. How you know this is because Disney, Disneyland, and so on and so forth. Star Wars games, Star Wars animation, same thing. That was risky.
Just last. So, safe, I'm not worried about. Ha ha, fun. Last egg breaks the hole in your little hole.
missing in actions. She walked into the city and didn't come back. I don't know what missing in actions is, but I sure wish someone would find her.
I'll help you look, Topher. We'll find your mama together.
Okay, so every now and again the game skips due to lag. It doesn't close down or logs out, but it skips due to lag. And that's a problem. It keeps going back. It keeps lagging out, going on and off, on and off, on and off. It keeps spiking up, dropping down, spike up, drop down, keep dropping. So I'm going to try to see if I could get at least 2 hours in on this, and after 2 hours I'm going to call it a day. If it drops completely after this and close itself out due to not being able to connect to the internet, then 1 hour and 30 minutes is fine. I'm going to try to see if I could speed through this, get towards the end pretty fast, because I hate the fact that I cannot go back to my old saves because this Ultimate Edition is not considered the original game. Which, what? It's the same game. It's just added stuff onto it. So apparently PlayStation Plus doesn't recognize that, so whatever. So it is what it is. Alright, so let's see.
Object of power. Looks like the hiss have latched onto it. We need to cleanse it. It's harder to hear